Hey guys, Jwhisp here, and today we've got a super duper exciting video. So today we will be going over Minecraft Snapshot 22w11a, which adds quite a bit into the game, as you can see around me. Not only do we have the beautiful new frogs, but we have an entirely new wood and tree type. We've got a new biome and a bunch of new blocks to look at today. So I don't think we can go on to today's video without first talking about frogs, because frogs have to be one of the most anticipated features for 1.19 and, personally, one of my favorites. So, as you can hear and see around me, here we have frogs. Now, right now in the game, as I can find, we only have this one variant of frogs. And if you watch Minecon Live, you would know that there's actually different variants of frogs depending on the biome. So there's like a white one for snowy biomes, there's a green one, lots of different frogs. But here we have just the basic frogs. And of course, to go along with frogs, we also have tadpoles, which are absolutely adorable. I mean, tadpoles have to be one of the cutest things. Now, if you spawn tadpoles outside of water, they will try to make their way to water, but just look how cute they are. Their big old eyes. Now, if you want some tadpoles for yourself in your own world, get yourself 2 frogs here, and we're actually going to use slime balls to breed them. That's right, you use slime to make new baby frogs. Now, frogs, their AI isn't the smartest right now. It's still a snapshot, but basically what'll happen is after you breed 2 frogs, they will try to find a water source nearby, and from there, they will have their little baby tadpoles. Now, it won't just be tadpoles right away. You'll actually get this frog spawn here, and after a while, the frog spawn will sort of turn into tadpoles. It's like the true stages of life of frogs in real life, but it's pretty cool. And after a while, you know, tadpoles eventually grow up, become frogs, and will live a semi-aquatic lifestyle in the land. And, you know, frogs can thrive in the water too. They don't really have an issue with it. They like to swim around, they like to walk around, they like to jump around. I think frogs are just super cute. I like their sound effects, I like their jumping. They can jump super high, and they're super fun. Now, to go along with frogs, we have a brand new light source called the frog light. Now, the frog lights, they're awesome. They give me very like fantasy vibes for a new light. But here we go. Let's go over here. We have the 3 different variants of frog lights. Now, the way you get this block is it's a little interesting, so let's go over that. So actually, what I'm gonna do is spawn magma cubes, and pretty much what'll happen is, I guess frogs have some beef with magma cubes, and if you give it some time, yeah, frogs will eat magma cubes and drop frog lights. I'm not sure why, I'm not sure how that works, but nevertheless, that's how you get frog lights. Now, to get the different colors, it just depends on whatever color frog you have. But since we only have the one color of frog in game right now, you can only get the one type of frog light. But yeah, I don't know, just an interesting mechanic. They don't seem to attack the largest magma cubes, which is pretty interesting. Only the small ones. But yeah, you could definitely make a pretty interesting frog light farm if you wanted to. You know, since in some piglin bastions you can actually find magma cube spawners, we could easily use those mechanics to, you know, put some frogs in the nether, put them near the spawner, and, you know, get tons and tons of frog lights. So, I don't know, just a fun little mechanic. Frogs are definitely a little quirky. You know, they're not finished. They're still relatively new. Looks like we got a couple frog spawn placed here by these frogs. I couldn't really watch it happen. But yeah, I don't know, pretty interesting, but it's a really cool and unique way to get a light source block. And, you know, let's be honest, this is a pretty cool looking block. It may not be the best in the game, but it produces the same amount of light as glowstone or sea lanterns, and so it's a pretty bright block. It produces a lot of light, and it looks pretty cool. So to stay with the theme of new blocks, let's talk about this right here. This is the mangrove tree. Now, I should say right off the bat, this is not what mangrove trees will look like in Minecraft. Not at all. I made this mangrove tree myself. Mangrove trees don't look like this. If we try to grow a mangrove tree, you know, we have this little propagule here. We actually don't get saplings. And if we try to grow it, that's what happens. You just get an oak tree. Now, you can actually grow it in the water, just like mangrove trees in real life and on Minecon Live, but unfortunately, it just grows an oak tree. But they said in the snapshot notes that we will have real mangrove trees very soon. So besides that, let's talk about some things here. What is this propagule? What's mangrove? Yeah, let's go over this. So, we have the mangrove log, of course we have the mangrove leaves, And if we give it time or use bone meal, eventually we will get this propagule to start spawning on the mangrove leaves. At first, it's this little flower. We continue to grow it. It continues to grow and grow and grow until it's really long, and then we can break it, and we get ourselves the propagule, which we can use to plant and grow mangrove trees. And you can grow it on land or on water, it looks like. I don't know if the finished product will only be able to be grown in water, but right now, it works on either. Now, just like we saw on Minecon Live, we also have two new interesting blocks, mangrove roots and muddy mangrove roots. Just a fun little block. You know, they've got a really fun placing sound, and they also look pretty cool. I don't know. And to go along with that, we also have the mud block, but we'll talk about that later. So yeah, mangroves are quite the interesting tree. They do have a cool mechanic. And if we do a game rule, let's do random tick speed. Let's just set it really high. Let's see what happens. All these propagules are at full length now. And eventually new ones will start to spawn. It just takes a little bit of time. So yeah, pretty interesting. Again, I made this tree myself. I have no idea if it'll look like this. I just kind of threw something together to make it look fancy. But I don't know. I think it's pretty interesting that we don't just get normal saplings. We actually get a new, unique way for this mangrove tree to grow using propagules. I don't know. It's just a fun little mechanic, you know. Why not? But let's talk about mangrove wood, because mangrove wood has got to be one of my new favorite wood types, if not my favorite wood type in Minecraft. It might just be my favorite right now because it's new and exciting, but let's go in the creative menu and type in mangrove, and as you can see, we've got lots of different things here to explore, and there's some pretty interesting things about some of this. Of course, you know, we have all the normal wood type things. We have boats and signs and doors and trapdoors and fence gates and logs, but let's look at this. Here we have mangrove planks. We have mangrove logs, stairs, you know, all that cool stuff. But here's the real one that really gets me. First, let's look at the mangrove trapdoor. Yes, we've got a circle. The mangrove trapdoor is really cool. I feel like this could make for some really fun windows, and I don't know, it's just a really cool block. Personally, I'm a big fan of it. And then the mangrove door is even better. I don't know what it is, but these doors have got to be just like one of my favorite doors in Minecraft. I think they look so cool. I don't know what it is about it, but mangrove doors, man, they look awesome. Now, so far, I haven't found a ton of block combinations that work super well with mangroves. You know, some blocks work well, some blocks don't work well. We'll have to keep testing things out, but mangrove is still going to be super fun to work with because, I mean, come on, just look how cool these doors look. I just think they're super cool. They give very luxurious vibes to me. I feel like this would fit very well in like a mansion or a fancy house. I don't know. I just think it looks pretty cool. But yeah, so mangrove, pretty interesting, pretty awesome. If you guys have any cool build ideas with mangrove, or if you have any combinations of blocks you found work really well with it, let me know. And obviously, you know, everything here is subject to change because the snapshot is still really new. But, you know, I feel like for the most part, it's a pretty fun looking block. So let's talk about some things here. I mentioned mud before. We have mud, and of course we have the muddy mangrove roots. Now in Minecon Live, Mojang mentioned that what they wanted to do was have mud actually drain. If we let mud just kind of sort of sit here like this, water droplets are supposed to come down from it, and it would actually leave us clay and water underneath if there was a cauldron. I don't think that mechanic is working right now. I don't know if they're going to add it, but for right now, it's not in the game. Now, mud has a very sloshy, fun little sound, but mud actually is a pretty fun block because we can do lots of things with it. If we give ourselves a stone cutter, you know, if we just try normal mud, nothing happens. But if we used packed mud, again, nothing happens. And so what we have to do is take our packed mud, put it in a crafting table, and we get mud bricks. And mud bricks is where mud really shines. We have mud brick walls, mud brick stairs, and mud brick slabs. Now, the sound effect for mud brick slabs is broken. It's just stone. But if we listen to the other blocks, oh yeah, I don't know. I'm a big fan of that sound effect. But honestly, let's look at these blocks. Mud bricks. These go hard. I'm not gonna lie. Mud bricks have to be, and again, one of my favorite new blocks. This snapshot is just really awesome. They've added a lot of really fun and really cool blocks, and you know, it doesn't look too bad next to mangrove. Fun little block combination. Looks very ancient, looks very cool. But there's another pretty unique thing about mud that I didn't expect until I was testing around. If we go into game mode survival here really fast, of course, just with any brick blocks, we could expect to break it with our pickaxe, you know? But since it's mud, we can actually just break it with our hand. and it breaks pretty fast, and we can place it, and there's no issue. So I don't know, what I would really like to see is an actual structure made out of mud bricks. I think that'd be cool. I'm sure something like that will come in the future, and now that we have, you know, a new mangrove wood type, maybe some sort of like swampy mangrove village, I don't know, that'd be cool. Just speculating here. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think will happen. But yeah, I don't know, what do you think about mud bricks? Personally, I'm a huge fan of it, and I see myself, you know, probably going to be building with this block a lot once this update is released. Okay, so if we mess around with some commands here, what we can do is locate biome, deep dark. Oh, no, not deep cold ocean. We want to go to the deep dark. Now, it's really hard to find the deep dark biome because I think this is lying. I'm pretty sure there's a deep dark biome right under me, actually. But yeah, the command seems to be not quite perfect yet. Again, it's still new. It's still, you know, yeah. There's the deep dark. Maybe if we go closer, it'll tell us we're near the biome. Let's see. Yeah, no. Well, for some reason, it's not working, but here we have the deep dark biome. Now, what we have to keep in note is, even though this is the deep dark biome, this is not what it will look like in the finished game. And that, ooh, look how cool this geode is. I'm taking a screenshot. But this is not how it will look in the finished game, because obviously everything is subject to change. But also, they removed ancient cities, and they removed the warden from the game. We no longer have the warden. We don't have ancient cities. We can't spawn the warden. There's nothing we can do about it. Probably just because they're working on it. I doubt it's removed forever. I think they just gave it to us in one snapshot just so we can look at it. But we have the deep dark, and it is in fact deep and dark. Now, I have my brightness artificially inflated right now just because if I didn't, you guys truly would not be able to see anything. These blocks are so dark and so black, and it just makes it so hard to see. It's nearly impossible. But let's look at this. We have the skulk blocks, we get the skulk veins, lots of fun blocks around here because skulk mechanics are really cool. We have the catalyst, we have the skulk sensors. I don't know, just really awesome. I really like exploring this area. It's really fun, and I don't know, it just looks really cool. The vibes are very scary, very dark, very deep, you know, as the name implies. But I don't know. What do you guys think about it? Once they add ancient cities and wardens, not only is this place going to be 10 times more terrifying and dangerous, but also 10 times cooler. Before we head out today, I actually left out a couple important things that I wanted to mention. So first is, frogs are supposed to be able to eat small slimes. Let's see, will you eat them? There you go. They'll only eat the smallest of slimes, but they will actually drop slime balls. So that's pretty cool. Just like they'll only eat the smallest magma cubes, they'll only eat the smallest slimes. But the other thing that I totally forgot to mention is you can catch little tadpoles with a water bucket and get a bucket of tadpoles. And just look how cute this is. You see the little tadpole peeking out, and you can just place them anywhere you want. Look at that. Look how cute tadpoles are. So yeah, something I totally forgot to mention, just super important because tadpoles are literally the cutest thing. Just, I'm sorry, I can't get over them. And their little sloshing sound effects. Oh, go back in the water. They're so cute. That's all. Well, anyways, guys, that is all for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. I'm super stoked. This is only one out of many snapshots to come, which means things are only going to get even better. Minecraft 1.19 The Wild update is going to be a giant and magnificent update, and I'm just super excited for it. But I'm curious. I want you guys to let me know down in the comments below, what was your favorite part about today's snapshot? Was it the frogs? Was it the mud? Was it the mangrove? Was it the tadpoles? Let me know down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you did enjoy, consider leaving a like, subscribing, all that good stuff. But my name is Jwhisp, and I will see you guys all in the next video.